Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis and holy moly donut shop. Look at this, guys. Look at what happened with that falling wedge, descending triangle, whatever you want to call it. The principle is the same. We identify the range, we watch for the breakout, and boy oh boy did we get a breakout. Uncle Charles mentioned in yesterday's video above 432.7, guys. Get bullish, go long. Very proud of that trade setup. It was a bit tricky, and that's what I definitely want to talk to you guys about that and explain it a little bit. What happened? So I'm gonna go to the 15-minute chart, right? And you guys see this falling wedge, all right? That I've been talking to you guys about. I mentioned to watch for the breakout. And while we got a very nice breakout, it was pretty tricky because if you look at this 930 candle, the market opened with a breakout. It opened with a breakout, and anybody who went long, they probably went long. It was a good reason to go long. We got a breakout, but what happened? Market popped back to the downside, going as low as 431.88. It broke out 432.7. Going as high as 433.3, drop back down to 438.88. Stop loss hunting, guys. I'm talking stop loss hunting. You guys see the falling wedge. You guys know on the outside of these trend line, the top of this resistant line and the bottom of the support line, you know there's liquidity there. Stop loss is there. First candle at 9:30, they hit the stop loss. Anyone who tried to short from that resistant line got stopped out. I don't know for sure if that's what happened, but I'm pretty sure that is what happened. And anyone who went long, they went long. All the stop loss that went short, they got stopped out, and boom. Anyone who went long, they went there after their stop losses as well when they closed right back down. Because if you're gonna long or resistant, where will you set your stop loss? You would set your stop loss below that breakout level because your trade's been invalidated. So these market makers got a bunch of people believing that their trade was invalidated. They got, they probably faked some people out, and boom, look at what happened on that 10-15 candle. Recaptured 432.7 again. Again, it recaptured it, giving us a false breakdown setup, the greatest trade setup of all time. Recapturing that 432.7 level was an intraday false breakdown setup, the greatest trade setup of all time, but it was also based on the daily chart. Remember, my 432.7 level was my 1.382 Fibonacci extension level. We lost that level yesterday. We recaptured it intraday with volume during the market hours. It was a hell of a false breakdown setup, the greatest, and it struck again. The greatest trade setup of all time struck again throughout this whole uptrend, guys. I tell you, that's been the best trade setup, and that trade setup has set off a lot of up moves and most of the time in 2023. Every rally we've had in 2023 was set off by a false breakdown. We got that false breakdown set up today, combined with the breakout of this rising wedge, falling wedge. So are we back in the trend phase? I'm very much hoping that we are. The trend phase is a lot easier to trade than the chop phase. So I'm hoping, okay, that we are in the trend phase. And based on this context, if we are back in the trend phase, it should be bullish. But at the end of the day, price action has the final say. Tomorrow, Jay Powell speaks. Uncle Powell, he speaks tomorrow at 9:30 at market open. Okay, 9:30 Eastern at market open. Every time that guy speaks, every time he got something to say, the market listen. He causes volatility. So expect some trappy action. The false breakdown and the false breakout will be the best trade setups to trade when that man is speaking. So be very careful. All right. So here's the plan for tomorrow. With this breakout, Uncle is bull bias. However, support levels must hold. All right. If I zoom out a little bit, I mentioned to you guys about the head and shoulder pattern. All right. And this orange line was my neckline. You know, it was pretty respected as support right here, and respected as resistance. Unfortunately, for bears, that is, it recaptured it today. So I would like to see for tomorrow 435.5 to 435 zone defend tomorrow as support. I recommend staying bullish on the SPY as long as it can stay above 435. All right, overall bullish above 432.7. Because of the false breakdown setup. As you guys know, like I said, every rally we've had in 2023 started with a false breakdown. So if it can break below 42.7, it will cancel that false breakdown. That's definitely what bears need. So if you're a bear, you want to see 435 and 432.7 fail as support. And if that happens, that is when I would switch over to bearish with 431, 429.6 and lower in play. Okay, it starts with the loss of 435 and 432.7 if you're a bear. But otherwise, guys, I would stay bullish. It's potentially, possibly that we are back in the trend phase. Okay, and this was the start. Okay, you guys can see in the past, all right, market cycles between the trend phase and the chop phase. Trend phase to chop phase. You know, right here back in early June, we had a chop phase. We broke out and back into the trend phase. All right, we go back even more. Look, back in here, mid-May, we found a bottom in mid-May, mid to late May. It was basing, flagging or whatever. We broke out and we entered back into the trend phase. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys, that we broke out what potentially could be the chop phase, the end of a chop phase with this falling wedge. Now, somebody else mentioned to me, Uncle, it looks like a bull flag, not a falling wedge. Well, first of all, you're not wrong about the bull flag, but I'm also not wrong about my falling wedge. This was a very good entry for long. It's a much better entry than what the bull flag could have provided, because if we take from the June high and June 16th high, okay, it'll give us the bull flag, okay, which means that the market is actually still in the chop phase. Okay, so if you go based on my falling wedge, and you know, combine that with the breakout we had today, that's pretty bullish. But if you go based on how this bull flag is with the June high from June 15 and June 16, how we have that, we actually didn't even get a third touch yet, which technically means we are still in the chop phase or potential consolidation phase with this bull flag. Okay, so let's let the price action guide us. All right, as long as it's above 435, I want to see the breakout of 437. 437, remember, it's my fib level, my 1.5 Fibonacci extension level, and based on the potential bull flag, it'll also above 437 would break out that bull flag. Okay, so definitely above 437, there should be no question that we are bullish and entering back into the chop phase. So, you know, with that falling wedge, I think we're bullish right now, but I'll keep my mind open to this bull flag. And since we didn't break out the bull flag, we're not actually as bullish yet. All right, so above 437 must clear. If you're a bull, you want to see 437 clear to trigger more upside. I will be bullish above 437. If we lose 435, we could possibly head back lower, back down to 432.7 and lower. Okay, so long above 437 with 438.5, 440, 441.5 and June high back in play. All right, if we lose 435, we could head back down lower. Okay, guys, let's keep it simple. Now, we got this falling wedge on QQQ as well. This one might be a little less controversial here, okay? And this actually broke out. All right, so as long as above 361.5, I'm bullish on the QQQ. It needs to break down 361.5 to cancel this breakout of the falling wedge. Otherwise, I'm bullish. Look to long above 361.8, 366, 368, and 370. All right, I do have support at 363, but 361.5 is when I would switch to bearish on QQQ, favoring a test of 360. If 360 is lost, very bearish with 357.5 and lower in play with 356 and 354 below, okay? IWM, it doesn't look too bearish right now, okay? It tested a support trend line here and it bounced. So for tomorrow to show follow through, I need to see it clear 183.3. That's my 50% fib level. To put 180 and 187 in play, that's my 61.8 fib level. All right, and above 187 would be 189.3, previous high right here, with 192.4 above. I would switch back to bearish if it drops below 181.8. All right, below 181.8, I would be bearish on IWM with 179.6 and gap fill at 175-ish in play, okay? I'm still, look at Tesla. Head and shoulder patterns, as you guys can see. Yesterday, we broke down the neckline. Today, we back tested the neckline. We are at a very critical, pivotal moment for the Tesla right now, okay? So tomorrow, hopefully we get our answer on what Tesla wants to do. 250 is the level to watch. Above 250, Tesla recaptures the neckline. That's a false breakdown setup. Look to long. That will be very bullish with 253.5 and 258 and 262.5 in play. If Tesla rejects from 250, as long as below 250, that is bearish, guys. That is bearish with 247, 242.6, and 238-ish in play. Could get lower than that, but just use those levels for now. 250 is the equilibrium level. Above it, bullish. Below it, stay bearish. Apple, looking bullish still. It went as high as 188.39, a few cents shy of my 1.236 fib level. What a tease. Overall, though, a lot of people didn't believe it, but we got there, okay, to the 1.236 fib level at 188.4-ish. Yeah, new all-time high for Apple. Can it pull back? Well, it would have to break down 186.6. That'll be a good start of a sign of a pullback. This very steep uptrend line of 2023, the support is now at 183.5. Loss of 183.5 is the best time to swing puts on the Apple. Otherwise, as unhealthy as this look, bulls are in control. If 188.4 clears tomorrow, get ready for some new all-time highs. All right? Meta, we had a very nice trade in Meta. If you're a tier 2 member or higher, Uncle Charters have trade ideas on Meta, you know. I was looking at seasonality earlier. Hey, if you guys want me to talk about seasonality, comment below. Now, as far as Meta went, I wrote here so far, Meta unable to clear the 284-ish level. It was basing there this morning. I will trust rejection if 283 fail as support. Short if it does, with 280 and 278 in play. I will only trust longs if 284 or 285 clears to put 288 in play. That worked out pretty well. By the time that I posted it, around here, around 10:30, 11 o'clock-ish, Meta actually did not break down support of 283. It actually bounced right off of 283 at that 11 o'clock candle. Right off of 283. Cleared 284. That was a trigger to go long. And it went as high as 289.3-ish. But end of day, it failed to stay above that 288. So another false breakout of the 288 level end of day. So for tomorrow, 285.7 and 284 are support. As long as those levels can defend, watch out for another breakout of 288, okay? It's only so much a failed breakout can happen at a certain level. Eventually, the breakout will be successful. So watch for that next breakout of 288, all right? Now, if we want to get bearish, obviously, we got to wait for a breakdown of support starting with 285.7 and 284. But below 284, I would definitely favor a deeper sell-off down to 280, 277-ish, 0.5, maybe even lower than that, down to 275, all right? NVDA. Oh, my Lord, we had another beautiful trading day with NVDA. I was posting a bunch of analysis on NVDA throughout the day. You know, SPY was being boring this morning. I wrote here, while SPY continues to be boring, 406.7 broke down here for NVDA. As long as below 404.5 was my target. And if that broke down, I had lower targets. But look at that. I posted this at 10:30. And you look at 10:30, we broke it down right here and went and bounced right off of that 404.5 level. How perfect, how much more perfect can that be? Okay, so once we got that bounce, that's a level to level move. If you shorted the breakdown of 406.7, you should have been taking profits at 404.5. Okay, level to level style. That's Uncle style. That's why I give these levels. However, wrote here on the Discord, right? Strong bounce off the 404.5 support and 406.7 recaptured here on the 15-minute chart. As long as above 409 to 409.5 zone and play with 412 above. All right. So I let the group know that we just got a breakout of resistance, which was right here. And look at that beautiful move, alerting the group on what the price action is doing. You should go long, and that worked out so beautiful. I gave a couple of more trades set up in the Discord, but I think you guys get the picture here. NVDA, combine that with price action trading, it's like a slot machine, guys. It's like a slot machine. So as far as the plan goes, support right now is at 417.7, 415.5, and 414.5. As of right now, as long as above 414.5, I'm leaning bullish right now. But if bears can break that down, I'll definitely happily switch over to bearish. Okay, but as of right now, if it can stay above 417.7, watch for that breakout at 419.5. If we clear 419.5, 421.5 at 424, and I think we can get to 427.7 to 428 zone. Okay, you guys can see right here we had a gap, and around 428 is where the gap starts, and it's served as strong resistance and sell zone. Okay, so if we can clear 428, that would definitely be a big win for NVDA bulls. All right, so remember, look to long above 419.5 and 421.5. Stay bullish above 417.7. all right, below that I would switch over to bearish with the lower targets in play, 415.5, 414.5. If those level fails, I'll definitely look to short with 412, 409.5, and possibly back down to 406.7. Guys, don't miss these amazing trades. Please add my levels to your charts. Use the 15 to 30 minute chart to confirm breakouts and resistance. It's amazing. Netflix, gonna throw Netflix in here, okay? As far as Netflix go, it's in pullback mode. All right, can't go up forever. Pullbacks are healthy. I have support here at 415.38. That is my 1.382 Fibonacci extension level. If that level fails, guys, I would definitely be bearish. We possibly could drop down to 411 first, but there is a gap at 409.3-ish. Okay, let's see if we can fill that gap. It'll definitely need 415.3 support level to fail as support. That's your trigger to go short. And if the gap fills and its support is at 409.3, if it doesn't hold that support, we could drop down lower, down to 405 and 401.6. NVDA is a pretty volatile stock, and for 2023, I'm trying to trade and cover more volatile stocks so we can make some good money using price action. Okay, so as far as resistant goes, I do have resistant at 418.7, 420.7. If those levels clear, 426.5, 432, and 437.4 would be back in play. Overall, still in pullback mode, but hey, like I said, use those levels, short the breakdowns, long those breakouts. Don't argue with the price action, all right? VIX, well, VIX is a womp womp over here. Broke back down 14.15. Not bullish, guys. Support is at 13.3. If that fails, well, 12.6 and 11.9 incoming, all right? I got this trend line right here. Got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests of this bluish trend line. Breakout is at 14.5, so maybe if we get a breakout 14.5, VIX could look bullish with 15.5 and 16.7 in play. Otherwise, it's looking bearish still, okay? VVIX. Here's the VVIX, also looking bearish. Broke down another fib level today, which was the 92.5 level. Mentioned that to you guys. Look to short if that fail. Bouncing off the 90.6 level so far. If that fails tomorrow, 89.2 to 88.6 zone in play. That's the trend line right here. Below 88.6, very bearish on the VVIX. I can't get bullish unless we get some false breakdown setup. That means 92.5, 93.5, and 95. All those levels need to recapture to trigger some upside. All right, let's get into the dark pool. Dark pool, 431.26. We had 2 billion in premium at that level. Could have been buys, most likely were buys. But who is buying? Well, I don't know. But all that matters to me is that from that zone, that 431 is zone, that's where we got the pop today. Okay, so if that's market makers, or no, not the market makers, the institutions taking profit and selling it to us, hey, I'm glad they made profit. But hopefully, you know, we made some profits as well, retail traders. But yeah, 431.26, that's around where we pushed up today. Definitely pay attention to that level. That's a strong buy zone, and it's also where the dark pool order is, all right? Looking here at option flow, here is the SPY, filter for 500K premiums or above here. 81% in the puts. All right, so overall bearish still. And look what happened. I talked to you guys yesterday. We had some very aggressive bearish plays yesterday, and the SPY just bounced. All right, and we're still getting some bearish plays here despite the bounce today. Okay, so just keep that in mind. QQQ 76% in the puts despite the bounce today. IWM 80% in the puts despite the bounce today. Tesla 55% in the calls, 45% in the puts. A little bit mixed there. Apple 100% in the calls. Okay, so they had it correct with Apple, but we'll see tomorrow. It could flip on us. What else? NVDA 90% in the calls. Okay. What else am I missing? I get the VIX 55% in the calls, 45% in the puts. It's a good mixture. And Netflix, nothing. No one traded Netflix. All right, guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more content from Uncle Charters and get my intraday analysis throughout the day for multiple different stocks like Meta, like NVDA, you know, and ETFs like QQQ and the SPY, definitely consider joining my Discord. Other than that, have a great evening. Peace.
Come on, Uncle, are you saying